it's not allowed to have more than 3 bedrooms. Must be owner occupied. With this requirement, the city of Las Vegas is actually making it really difficult for investors. Let me tell you how you can bypass those requirements. Hey everyone, welcome to my real estate channel. I am a super host on Airbnb and licensed realtor and property manager. So me and my girlfriend are property managers here in Las Vegas, managing Airbnbs for our landlord for short-term or 31 days and plus as furnished rentals. So we could collect enough data to share you valuable tips to know which property might be the right one for you in 2023. Now let's us talk about if it's a good idea to start the Airbnb business in Las Vegas in 2023. We all know there are a lot of challenges and different counties in Las Vegas. We have North Las Vegas, Henderson, Summerlin, and Clark County. So each county has their different regulations, which creates different opportunities and challenges. In this video, we will talk all about the opportunities and challenges and about the property types. There are different property types which we can use to make a good investment, which we put on Airbnb. So there are properties like single family houses, multi-family houses, condo hotels and apartments, or maybe just a casita or a garage which is turned into a unit. We will dive into all those kind of properties and see which is the best in 2023 in Las Vegas or even in other countries, because usually the numbers will kind of reflect the general market. Las Vegas is of course a very attractive place for many tourists, and it makes sense for investors and real estate entrepreneurs to invest or to think that Las Vegas is a very good destination. But Las Vegas has many jurisdictions and there are many regulations and laws regarding Airbnb. So let's dive into this. This is the map of Las Vegas. You see in green we have the city of Las Vegas. In the north we have city of North Las Vegas. In the bottom we have Henderson, and everything what is gray here in this area is Clark County. So Las Vegas is divided into several jurisdictions, and each jurisdiction has slightly different regulations regarding short-term rentals on Airbnb. It's impossible to give you all the 4 regulations and requirements for the 4 different jurisdictions in one video. So I will try to keep it short and tell you the common and the difference in their requirements. So let's start with North Las Vegas. You see this orange area marks where the properties are, which are doing currently Airbnb, and you need a 660 feet buffer between the properties, so the properties are not too dense together. The 660 feet is one of the requirements, and you also see the prohibited areas where Airbnb or short-term rentals are not allowed. When we scroll down a little further, we have the area and the city of Las Vegas, which can be seen in this green yellowish circle with the purple dot. This is the buffer for the 660 feet. Let's take an example here. So if we scroll into this property, you see that this property right here is doing Airbnb or short-term rentals, which also includes like Webull, Booking.com, and short-term rentals are considered everything what is 31 days and less. When you see this property right here, you see that the house next to it are not too allowed to do Airbnb or short-term rentals. You actually can see that 660 feet will extend to few streets and in this circle I would say it's approximately like 30-40 properties. So there's also one special regulations that only 1% of all properties in the county can be Airbnbs. So if we zoom out a little bit, this is the strip right here, and we see that a big area is actually prohibited for short-term rentals. This of course makes sense because the hotels pay and build a lot of amenities which shouldn't be used for someone who is building an Airbnb right next to it for lower rates. So you get all the benefits and the hotels get nothing. So this is a way for the hotels to protect themselves. This area is called Prohibited Area Resort of the hotels. The current situation in Las Vegas is that the hotels try to protect themselves, but also the landlords or small Airbnb operators try to make some money. So the city is trying to regulate this area with their different rules. So with this map you can try to find out if the property you want to buy is in a zone where Airbnb is allowed or not. In this right corner you can enter an address and see if you are allowed to do short-term rental or not. To apply for a short-term rental license, there are specific regulations which need to be met. For example, your property needs to follow all building codes. This means it needs to be building according to the building codes, and it needs to provide some safety measurements like fire extinguishers, smoke alarm, and a few more, which you can read inside their ordinance or in their application itself. We have one requirement of the city of Las Vegas which actually exclude many investors for the short-term rental market. Let me show you this. This is one of the key requirements. Must be owner occupied. So with this requirement, the city of Las Vegas is actually making it really difficult for investors in the short-term rental market in Las Vegas. But they are trying to build a bridge to help the landlords here in Las Vegas to make additional side income. And we have additional requirements. For example, that it's not allowed to have more than 3 bedrooms. So you can see with this current requirements, it's not so easy to step into the Las Vegas short-term rental market. But this was mostly for the city of Las Vegas and North Las Vegas. So if you want to invest in Henderson and Clark County, you can look up their current regulations. But I can recommend you to work with a local licensed real estate agent here in Las Vegas so you can see if the property you want to buy is the right one for you. But before we stop here, let me tell you how you can bypass those requirements. If you like what I shared with you, then please like and subscribe to my channel. It helps the YouTube algorithm for more people to see this video. So one way to avoid all those requirements is this way right here. So short-term rental is considered everything what is less than 31 consecutive calendar days. So if you want to do an Airbnb business, you can think to do a business which is 31 days and plus to avoid all those requirements. So in my case, I do 31 days furnished monthly rentals and I put it also on Airbnb. So if you want to invest into the Las Vegas real estate market and do short-term rentals, this is one way to do it when you do 31 days and plus. In my opinion, 31 days won't give you necessarily the biggest return of your money, but you get someone in your property for a consistent amount of time. You don't need to follow up every 2-3 days like in short-term rentals. When someone stays for 31 days, the wear and tear in your property is, in my opinion, a little bit less because the person in the property will take care of your stuff a little better because he will stay there for 31 plus days. Of course, you can also claim your property as owner occupied, but of course this is a gray zone if it's not owner occupied. I think the Las Vegas real estate and short-term rental market is actually very diverse. We have of course a lot of tourists who only stay over the weekend, so your occupancy rate might be only in the 55 to 75% range. To avoid a low occupancy rate, you can think to change the demographic which you are targeting. This can be in changing the requirements for your minimum night of stay. For example, now you are requiring 7 days and up. So in this case, you will attract more families which will come to Las Vegas, because usually families stay for longer and they are on vacation for longer time. You might not get the high nightly rates, but your property and the occupancy rate is occupied. In my experience from the properties we manage for our landlords, this can be a better revenue generating way. You also have the opportunity to avoid all those requirements and do 31 days and plus. So in this case, you will target demographics like military, workers from out of state, traveling nurses, and people who actually moved to Las Vegas, who actually bought a house here but their house are not finished built. So you see, there are many ways around those requirements, and you can be creative with your current Airbnb or with your investment. This video about regulations and laws was longer than I wanted it to be, but you see, this topic is kind of complex, so again, I recommend you to speak with a local licensed realtor so you can see if Las Vegas or the properties you want are the right ones for you. We will stop the video and have a part 2 where we talk about the property types which makes the most sense here in Las Vegas to invest in 2023. Thank you so much for staying up to this part of the video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel so it helps the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much.